Da Nang is one of Vietnam's most popular destinations, with beautiful beaches, a huge variety of food, and plenty of things to see and do. This was our first visit to a beach resort on our trip, and so, of course, the weather decided not to cooperate. Never mind. With stormy skies hanging over the city, we set out to try some local favourites, experience the atmosphere along the beachfront, and visit a few of Da Nang's best-known attractions. So come along and see what we discovered, rain clouds and all. Being a popular beach resort, there were many bars and cafes attracting the tourists. But you know us by now, we wanted to go where the locals eat, and we were told by our Grab driver to try this small noodle shop serving one of Da Nang's specialities, Bún Chả Cá. The restaurant was called Bún Chả Cá Ba Lu. The name literally means fish cake noodles, and that's exactly what we got. Noodles in a light, flavourful broth topped with pieces of fish cake, crab balls and a few other ingredients. Looks even better than the picture, doesn't it? This is what we came to experience in Da Nang. Sitting down right in the middle of town, surrounded by local people eating what they eat for lunch. And it was really good. The noodles firm, slightly chewy and packed with flavour. The broth was even lighter than some of the Vietnamese noodle soups we'd had, but with plenty of taste. So this is another one to add to our growing list of Vietnamese noodle dishes. And at a very reasonable price, it made for a pretty perfect local lunch. For dinner, we decided to try some seafood at Quan, which is one of the most popular seafood restaurants here in Da Nang. And popular is definitely the word. It was absolutely packed when we arrived, and there were plenty of tourists among the diners.
Thank you.
There was a huge selection of seafood.
It's too big. Too big.
But we picked out just a few things that took our fancy and settled in for dinner. I think these were called seafood spring rolls, although I would call them fish croquettes. We were craving lobster, so we ordered two, one with garlic and butter and the other with chili sauce. We never get this service back home. The atmosphere was lively, the restaurant was buzzing, and we were certainly getting the full tourist experience. But, to be honest, the food itself was rather disappointing. Nothing was bad, but compared with some of the local food we'd already had in Da Nang, and what was to come, it was pretty average. When we're not in Southeast Asia, we live in Boston, Massachusetts. Maybe it was a mistake ordering lobster on the other side of the world. The bread was good though. Still, it was an interesting experience, and sometimes you want to try out the tourist places to find out whether they live up to the hype. For us, this one didn't. Lest you think that all we did in Da Nang was eat, we did actually get out and see some of the famous sights. Apparently, the must-see event in Da Nang is the famous Dragon Bridge Fire and Water Show, and it only takes place at weekends. We were in luck. It was Saturday. We arrived a little early and had a look around the nearby market, which was quite a lot of fun. Especially when the heavens opened.
Like these people.
We didn't have an umbrella, of course, but we did meet some nice people from Korea while taking shelter from the rain.
Wasn't the video we were planning.
The rain stopped just in time for the main event. We found a seat, and there were people all around. This must be good. There was a countdown, and then... was that it? Apparently it was.
They think it's over.
Did you miss it? Here it is again. Okay, I have to say, I enjoyed the rainstorm a lot more.
Is that it?
Yeah.
We also visited some of Da Nang's other sites, including the erroneously named by tourists Lady Buddha. She is, of course, Guan Yin, the goddess of mercy. The statue is spectacular, and there are some great views over Da Nang. But by far the best tourist attraction we visited was Bana Hills, where we went to see the Golden Bridge, sometimes called the Golden Hands Bridge, for a fairly obvious reason.
See the Buddha beyond.
The day we went it was still quite cloudy, which was a little disappointing at first, although we did get some nice views during the long cable car ride up the mountain. But honestly, I think the weather turned out to be perfect for the bridge. Walking among these enormous hands, supporting the bridge and emerging from the mist, was really cool, in both senses of the word, and almost otherworldly. After all, we've seen spectacular mountain views many times before, but we've never seen anything like this. The next evening we walked along the beachfront, checking out more seafood restaurants, and stopped for a drink at Esco, right on the Da Nang seafront. They do burgers and other good Western food here if that's what you're in the mood for, along with some local dishes. The weather was still looking pretty dramatic, with dark skies and waves crashing onto the beach just in front of us. And it was enjoyable sitting here with a drink, watching the waves roll in and listening to the sound of the surf. We decided not to risk another touristy restaurant, so we headed up the road to a nearby fishing village for our next seafood dinner. And boy, were we glad we did. This turned out to be our favourite meal in Da Nang, possibly in Vietnam. Dinner at, this place. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. Qua Hai San A Tai? But the link is in the description. Anyway, it's a very local seafood restaurant, and it is special. There were no tourists or foreigners here at all, which is always a very good sign when you're looking for authentic local food. The free appetizers to go with our beer weren't bread or nuts, but quail eggs. I could get used to that. Reading the menu was a challenge, but with the help of Google Translate and some sign language, we ordered a selection of seafood, fish, shellfish, grilled prawns, and grilled octopus. And everything was absolutely delicious. Fresh, simply prepared, tender and full of flavour. It was so good. The octopus was simply spectacular. It was also a completely different experience from the much busier tourist seafood restaurant we'd tried the night before. Here, it just felt like a friendly, welcoming neighbourhood place where local people come to eat and enjoy their evening. We liked it so much that we returned another night. We had the octopus again, of course. So if you're looking for seafood in Da Nang, this is definitely the place we'd recommend. It was the best seafood meal we'd had for a long time. And that brings our time in Da Nang to an end. Despite the rather stormy weather, we had a great time exploring the city, trying the local food, and discovering a few places that were very different from what we're used to back home. But our food adventures are not over yet. In our next video, we're back in Kuala Lumpur to explore more of the local food scene there, including a real hidden gem. And after that, we'll be continuing our journey through Vietnam, so there's plenty more to come. Thanks for watching. We're so glad to have you with us, and we hope to see you in the next one.